y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's Marissa Explains It All. Today I am doing a review of Seint makeup. So if you haven't heard of this brand, they used to be called Mascara Beauty and they have renamed to Seint and rebranded. And so I was intrigued by this because I've seen this on my socials, and basically it's a customizable cream makeup solution. It's marketed, I think, towards women who are maybe in their 30s and up, because cream makeup is supposed to be a lot more natural looking and help with not creasing and settling in fine lines. It's supposed to be an alternative to powder-based makeup, and so it's supposed to be a lot fresher and more natural and better for aging skin. And so of course it got me right away. And also it's a new way to put makeup on, because instead of layering your foundation first and then you would layer on more concealer, then you would layer on a highlight, then you layer on a blush, then you layer on all this stuff, a contour, you put it on all at once. And so you just put the color exactly where you need it all over one time, and then you blend it out with like a brush or whatever. So it's supposed to be not as cakey and not as heavy, because you're just doing one layer of makeup instead of like layering over top. So it's supposed to help out with not feeling like you have a ton of product on. And so I went ahead and tried this out. If you visit their website, you can see that they have a whole bunch of products to try out, a ton of colors, and it's a customizable system, meaning that you buy a palette that is just sort of a blank canvas, and then it's magnetic, and all of their products come in little tins that you put in the palettes using the magnet. So it's like a little magnet system, and you can purchase each of these things separately. So they've got highlighter and they've got blush and your contour and your main color. You just buy whichever one pieces you want and you can pop them all in, and then they have eyeshadow colors and stuff like that. So I was intrigued, and this is one of those products that you can buy through their website, but it's generally through a consultant. I can put a link down in the description box below if you're interested in going through the girl that I went through, and she was very helpful in helping color match me. So I didn't know what color I was. You can Google Seint color matching and then they'll connect you with someone who will color match. But basically all I did was I stood in front of a window like this and I took a selfie just with my face, and she sent me her recommendations for colors. And they do have a guarantee if you wanted to return the product and it's not your color, so you can check that out on their site. But she did a good job of color matching me just by the photo, so definitely check out that link below if you want to connect with her. And I joined her Facebook group as well, just so I could understand how to put it on, but it really wasn't too difficult. So first let me go ahead and do the unboxing, where I'll show you what I bought, and then we will go ahead into the demo to see what it looks like as I tried it on for the first time. And then I do a couple of wear tests, and then I'll give you some final thoughts. Here we go. So here I am unboxing. It's got a nice little logo here and a packing slip, and I did purchase 4 items for my palette. And so I got my highlight color, my main color, the contour, and the lip and cheek. So I'm just kind of taking everything out. And this is what the product looks like in the tins. And I thought these were so pretty. I just really appreciated the artwork that they put on each tin. They're metal. I thought they were just so pretty. They're all just kind of different photographs. And this is my palette. When you open it up, it has a magnetic piece on the bottom and then a mirror on the top. I just got plain white, and then this is what they each look like. This one did come with like a little bit of what looked like some condensation that had settled on the top, but I don't think it was problematic. It didn't affect the makeup at all. So from left to right, it looks like I've got Aura, and then Walnut, Linen, and then Madrid. So as I'm loading each one, I'm kind of loading from lightest to darkest, and then I'm going to check out my little palette all done. It's so cute. All right, so I am here. I've got my mirror here, and I'm just gonna hold it right down so that I might be looking down as I apply, but I gotta be able to see what I'm doing. So I have my stuff here, and what it says is that you're supposed to start with either your main color or your highlight, and then you do contour, and then this is for like lips and cheeks. And so I'm going to take, and you use your fingers for this apparently, so I'm just going to take my main highlight color, and they said just kind of dip in, and it's pretty thick and creamy, so I don't think I need a ton. They do the inner corners and the upper bit, so unlike the 2010, 2015 era where we were heavily caking on that highlight, I don't think we're doing that anymore, so we're just kind of using it sparingly, but to try not to accentuate those fine lines and wrinkles under our eyes. So I'm just going to use this everywhere that I would normally apply a highlight. And then it says you can use your next color, the actual main, they call it a main highlight, but like your main color would be for like your forehead, I guess, that the places that you didn't put the highlight. So your forehead and your beard area, they said. So feel free to put it here. And then, sorry, I'm like dipping out of camera. To put it there. And then it's time to contour. So we do our contour shade wherever you would normally contour, and that would be like the nose here, if you wanted to do the sides of the nose. Now I will say I went with a lighter contour shade than they recommended for me because I don't really love a heavy contour, and so this may end up being a little bit light for me, but I'm okay with that because I wanted something that was pretty subtle and not going to be very dramatic. So you could probably go darker if you liked a really bronzy look, but I just like something a lot more subtle. The nose is always my main concern. Let's get that shaped down a little bit. I'm going to try to keep this this contour pretty high. I think usually I used to go a lot lower in like this area, and now they're telling you for a lifted look you really should be applying higher. So definitely apply that higher. And then I think I'm supposed to do the blush and everything on cheeks and the lips, and so I think you'd put it wherever you want to put your blush, and I think this will blend out because, I mean, it's a little bold, but I do like this coral color. I think it's really pretty, and I usually stick with peachy shades, so I'm going to try to just put that there and see how that blends out. And then, of course, the lips. It's time to blend. So I'm going to try a brush, and of course they do have their own brush that they recommend, but I'm going to try this brush that I have. It is just a Farrah brush, and it's a foundation, flat top foundation brush. So I'm going to try using this and see if I can blend it out with one side, and then I'll use a damp beauty sponge on the other side. This looks crazy right now, y'all. All right, so I guess you just start blending. So let's try blending it out and see how it does. All right, so far so good. I'm just starting with like the lighter shades so that my brush doesn't pick up the darker shades and drag it in. So I'm just going to start with the lighter shades here. Okay, that looks pretty good. All right, let's try a beauty sponge on this side and see what we can get. Well, I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but I think I may have finally found the first foundation that I might prefer the brush side to the beauty blender side. So I think for the purpose of this cream makeup, I do prefer this side, and it was much easier to blend in. So I think I went a little bit light with the contour. You probably could go heavier, so I might go in for like a little bit more and just see if I can build this up a bit, and I'll use the brush to do that. I'll apply just a little bit more on here. So okay, there you have it. You know what, I'm so used to saying like, let me do the rest of my makeup, I'll be right back, but like, it's kind of done. I already put a little mascara on. I'm going with like a natural look today, but I mean, this palette kind of takes care of like your contour, your highlight, kind of your main foundation and your blush and everything like in one sweep. And then you can certainly do your lips, you know, a little bit more. I think I accidentally swiped over them, but your lipstick, I mean, it's kind of like, and that's the purpose of it. It's supposed to be one palette and then maybe just some mascara and you were like out the door. I'm impressed, you guys. So far, this is looking really good. It covered everything up. It doesn't feel very heavy. It does feel like slightly, you know, like tacky or luminous, but it doesn't feel like too sticky. They say if it feels too sticky, it's too much. You're putting too much on. And so, so far, I think it's really good. It doesn't feel like it's too heavy or cakey, but I'm going to do a wear test. So I'll do a couple check-ins today and see how it's wearing throughout the day, and if it's creased into my fine lines or anything. But so far, I think it looks really fresh and natural. Let's see how it wears. I'll talk to you in a bit. So here I am for the first check-in. I did put eye makeup on because I was going out and I wanted to look a little bit more done up, but it looks like it's settled into my fine lines just a bit and around my smile lines, and of course under my eyes just a little bit. But you are seeing me very, very close up and in very like harsh natural light. So it really isn't this obvious or noticeable when you're looking at me normally. I just wanted you to see every little detail, which is scary. All right, so I am back. It is the end of the night. It's been about 10 hours since the makeup's been on, and I have to say I really appreciate how it's worn. Obviously there's some spots that have worn off. You can see some of my blemishes coming through, and I did take a nap on it, and so this is what it's like after having napped. But I mean, it's still very pretty. It still looks very like kind of dewy and natural. So let me zoom you in a little bit and you can kind of see what is happening up close, up scary and close. I do think I saw some creasing in here, and it looks like it's kind of been worn away now, but I did see some creasing, and it had settled into some of my lines a little bit. I find that that's normal for me for foundations to kind of settle into fine lines and things, but overall I think I'm really happy with it, and I could definitely have set my under eye with some powder, and I didn't set any of my face with powder today, so I think that maybe could have helped. But in general, I am really happy with how this went on. I'm trying to scoot over a little bit and see if I can get a better light. But final thoughts for me, this is a thumbs up in my book. I really thought that the finish was very natural, and I actually asked my husband what he thought of the makeup, just out of curiosity. I just said, hey, what do you think of my makeup today? And he actually said, surprised me. Usually he just says, yeah, it's good, yeah, looks fine. But this time he said, now that's how I like your makeup to look. I really like whatever you have on because it looks very fresh and natural. Nothing overdone, nothing too like cakey, nothing too heavy or bold. Let me know what you think. Have you tried this before? Are you willing to give it a try? I certainly am looking forward to going back and trying the rest of the line, and so I will be shopping away. So feel free to subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you, of course, and I'll see you next time for the next review. Bye guys.